5555 Jacksonville. He's Hacker.
Talk about a fried egg. I lasted about 5 minutes out there. I said, to heck with this. I'll do this in the morning. And I don't have any inside information. The lady that did it, she got in there. She made it happen.
And he doesn't shy away from opinion.
And I do enjoy drinking cold beer at ballparks. So if that makes me a baseball fan, then I'm a diehard baseball fan.
It's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
And a very good Friday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM with RJ Saunders. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you are with us to close out the week. What has certainly been an eventful week with the start of Jaguar training camp. We had the ACC kickoff. We got college football camps opening up next week. We got a preseason NFL football game in less than a week. We have a Jaguar scrimmage 1 week from tonight. So there is obviously a ton going on, and we are glad you are closing out your week with us here on Hacker After Dark. Guest lineup tonight looks like this. Coming up in less than 15 minutes, how about Tank Bigsby, running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars? I had the opportunity to catch up with Tank earlier today down at the Miller Electric Center. That was my Jaguar training camp one-on-one. Really enjoyed the conversation with Tank Bigsby, talking to him about the running back room, talking about the 1-2 combination with he and Travis Etienne. We talked about Liam Cohen, a variety of other topics. So Tank Bigsby, my Jaguar training camp one-on-one, that comes up in less than 15 minutes. Also, Dave Campo, the head coach, who's joined me and joined numerous shows on this station for many years. We're going to enjoy him while we have him, because about a month from now, Dave and his wife are moving back to the Dallas area to be closer to their kids and their grandkids. But we'll certainly have Coach on periodically. It won't be as regularly, but periodically when he moves back out to Dallas. But Coach Campo will join me coming up here towards the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour to give his thoughts on everything going on with Jaguar training camp. But again, we're glad you're with us to close out the week here on Hacker After Dark. Every night on HAD, we do kick it off with a big deal of the night. And RJ Saunders, let's do that right now.
Time now for the big deal of the night.
What's the big deal? What is the big deal?
No, because it is a big deal.
On Hacker After Dark.
All right, back here on Hacker After Dark, the big deal of the night. All right, let me get this off my chest right now. I liked Liam Cohen when the hire was made. I like him more and more as I get to know him, as I get to listen to him, and as I start to understand the direction that he and James Gladstone have this team going in. I'm going to play a couple of sound bites from Liam Cohen from earlier today down at the Miller Electric Center, and I'm going to explain to you why it is an absolute breath of fresh air here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. First, earlier today down at the Miller Electric Center, this courtesy of our friends at Jaguars.com, Liam Cohen addressing the media says, quite frankly, the offense has to make more plays out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think it was a bad day. It's just we didn't make any plays. You know, like we got a ton of opportunities to make plays when the ball's in the air. We got to make those plays. And whether it's ball placement, whether it's, you know, making a play when the ball's in the air, it's got to be ours. So, you know, I thought we ran it pretty well at times today in terms of just getting on the right targets and hitting the runs the right way. So it was a balance, but more so I think they understand that we got to go make those plays.
One of the, I don't know if it was a highlight. It was a highlight for Chad Muma. It was a low light for the offense. It was on a tipped ball. But Chad Muma intercepted Trevor Lawrence today in one of the drills. Listen to Liam Cohen's reaction to this and when asked about the Muma pick on the deflected ball from Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, with one hand as well. That was, I mean, thank God it hit him in the chest. You know, we got tipped. Like he was throwing the ball down the field to Parker, gets tipped right into Chad's hand. So, you know, those are the moments where you're pissed at first, and then, hey, good job, Chad. So, you know, I think we've just had too many tip balls in general over the last few days, whether it's the O-line's got to get their hands down, quarterback's eyes have to be better because, you know, that's happened a few times now.
All right. So that's where I want to begin my thoughts on Liam Cohen tonight. Let's evaluate the head coaches we have had here in Jacksonville for basically the last 13 years. I'll give respect to Mike Mularkey. I'll go 12 years. All right. But you could certainly lump Mularkey into this. So dating back to 2013, we had Gus Bradley, who was all sunshine and rainbows. And I like Gus. Gus was always really nice to me. That was really young in my career. I was really just starting out on air at the time. I don't have a bad thing to say about Gus Bradley, the person. Very good guy, but obviously wasn't a very good head coach here. But he was sunshine and rainbows, man. He didn't show a lot of negative emotion. He didn't, to me, get after a whole lot of people. Then you had Doug Marrone, who, all right, would get after people occasionally, but was kind of this guy that was ho-hum, funny guy, offensive lineman, sunflower seeds in his mouth, just a guy's guy, I guess. Didn't do an awful lot of public criticism. Then you had Urban, which that was a disaster of football epic proportions. And then Doug Peterson, nice guy. Again, don't really have a bad thing to say about Doug the person, but Doug didn't seem to have a whole lot of fire lit under him. I mean, I go back to last year, that incredibly dirty cheap shot by Azeez Al-Shire, and Doug Peterson called it unfortunate, or words along those lines. It says, I wish plays like that were out of the game. Got to tell you, man, I got a feeling a lot of head coaches, if their star quarterback got hit like that, they would have far more things to say or do than call it unfortunate. And that brings me back to Liam Cohen. I love that soundbite we just played. He said, yeah, the ball got tipped. Muma intercepted it. At first, I was pissed. He used the word pissed. When's the last time you heard that here in Jacksonville from a head coach? But then, all right, Chad, because Liam's got to realize, and he's starting to, obviously, that he's the head coach, right? It's not just the offense anymore like it has been a majority of his career. It's everything. I get the vibe that unlike Gus Bradley, Doug Marrone, Urban Meyer, and Doug Peterson, when Liam Cohen has something to say, he's going to say it. I get the vibe when Liam Cohen has something to get off his chest, he doesn't care if it gets out publicly. Whether he needs to call out people, call out opponents, I get the vibe that he's the kind of guy that if the referees give the Jaguars the business one week, Liam Cohen may not hold back very much in talking about things along those lines. That's just the vibe I get from the guy, which I think is incredibly refreshing because it is different. What have I been talking about, man, the entire offseason? It's different here in Jacksonville. That doesn't mean they're going to win the Super Bowl. That doesn't mean they're going to win the division. That doesn't mean they're going to the playoffs. This is not me being sunshine and rainbows hacker here. But it is different, right? They've approached building the roster differently with James Gladstone. They've done things out of the box, like the trade up for Travis Hunter. Whether you like it or not, it's different. And now they got a head coach that'll go up to the podium and say, yeah, I was pissed. But then I thought, it's still a good play by the defense. This is the same guy that Bayshell Tootin, when he fumbled the opening carry of rookie minicamp, led his press conference off by saying, yeah, he put the ball on the ground. We just haven't had that. Whether you want to call it moxie, attitude, whatever it is, a lot of the really good coaches have it, man. And I think players respect that. You don't sugarcoat anything. You tell people what's going on. You tell people like it is. Has Mike Tomlin ever sugarcoated anything? Has John Harbaugh or Jim Harbaugh ever sugarcoated anything? Nope. Now, I'm not saying Liam Cohen will be in that category, but in a very short amount of time, I do like the direction that he's going when he addresses the media talking about this football team, because to me, it's very different than what we heard come out of the mouth of Gus Bradley, Doug Marrone, Urban Meyer, and Doug Peterson. Let's get one more in from Liam Cohen earlier today down at the Miller Electric Center. The pads come on next week for the Jaguars. Again, this courtesy of Jaguars.com. Cohen was asked, are the guys anxious to get the pads on next week?
Yeah, a lot of the guys, you can tell, want the pads on. They just kind of want to get to that point. It feels like we've been in T-shirt shorts for a long time now, and they're right. They are. It's not quite football. It's still not. I mean, football is, as we all know, a very physical game, and it's meant to be played that way, and ultimately you can't really do it until you get the pads on.
Yeah, so there you go. Pads come on, I believe, Monday, right? They're off tomorrow. They're back Sunday, I believe, with like shells, right? Or maybe the shoulder pads, or they have something on. But the full pads, I believe, go on Monday. And then, of course, you got the scrimmage 1 week from tonight down at the stadium. So we'll do a lot of Jaguar talk tonight, no question about it. Dave Campo, Cecil Shorts in the 9 o'clock hour. But we're going to kick it off with Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby is a guy that I'm very high on here in 2025. I think he and Brenton Strange coming into year number 3 are both going to take leaps. Tank Bigsby, I'm not so sure won't be the running back 1. In fact, if you had to ask me today, but again, I believe there's going to be carries that are going to be spread out. But if you ask me today, who's going to be the running back in the backfield, the first play for the Jaguar offense in 2025, I would put my money on Tank Bigsby. He's looked good out there, man. He's looked sharp, and he is just shaking his hand today. Whew. My man has a handshake on him. He's got some paws on him. My conversation with Tank Bigsby from earlier today down at the Miller Electric Center, that comes up next on a Friday evening here in the city of Jacksonville. We're glad you're with us with RJ Saunders, the hacker Ryan Green with you right here on Hacker After Dark.
And initiate sequence.
1010XL.
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 Repeat.
1010XL.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
A new era of women's professional soccer has arrived. The Gainbridge Super League, redefining the game for the next generation. Sporting Jacks, the first ever pro women's team on the First Coast. Be there for history. Secure your tickets now at sportingjacks.com.
It's a battle for the playoffs as your Sharks take the field this Saturday. Kickoff at 7. Tickets start at just $15. Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Try the new 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 food vouchers, and a $20 gift card. All for only $100. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700.
Prosser here. Ask about the Sharks 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 food vouchers, and a $20 gift card, all for only $100. It's Military Appreciation Night, presented by True Vet Solutions. All current and former military can purchase a special buy one, get one free ticket deal. Join us on the field after the game for a jersey auction and autograph session, sponsored by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectible. Tickets start at just $15. Call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700.
It's back to school season, and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team? We can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox disinfecting wipes. Teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious?
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business. Window World, simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. In the summertime, it really can stretch out most of the year because we love the warm temperatures here in the Sunshine State. Greg, give them an idea of what Honda has to offer.
They are all over the board. They've got Honda scooters, Honda motorcycles, we've got Honda boats, we've got Honda side-by-sides. Whatever you like, we've got it.
That means adventure is waiting.
That's right, and we're ready for you.
In the showroom, you can find all that Honda has to offer on Atlantic near Regency, or check out Cycles of Jacksonville's Facebook page.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out The Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At The Y, summer camps every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Overall practice today down at the Millward Electric Center. I thought it was a good day for the defense. I thought Tyson Campbell was terrific today. Absolutely terrific. Tyson Campbell, there is never any doubt that Tyson Campbell can play and play at a high level, and when healthy, quote there, when healthy, is probably a top 15, if not a top 10 corner in this league. Can he stay healthy? Because if that guy stays healthy, he's going to have a heck of a year. There's no doubt about that. I also thought it was interesting that, again, if this guy plays in the regular season, either something has gone horribly wrong or the Jaguars are up 50-0, and I don't think the latter is going to happen. But for what it was, I'll give credit. I thought Nick Mullins had his best practice today. The backup quarterback, the free agent from Minnesota, he had a couple of passes that were on the mark, man. No other way to say it. One to Irwin, the free agent that came in from Carolina, former Bengal. Another one, I believe, to Eli Pankel, the free agent undrafted rookie that everybody loves out of Duke. I thought Nick Mullins had a pretty good day at the office as well. I also thought Tank Bigsby's looked good. I think Tank Bigsby's looked good the entire offseason. Can't wait for the pads to come on. Can't wait for the scrimmage. Can't wait for the preseason to see what Tank has as we get ready for Carolina that first Sunday in September. Earlier today at the Miller Electric Center, my Jaguar training camp one-on-one was now with third year. That's hard to believe, right? Third year Jaguar running back Tank Bigsby. All right, Jaguar practice number 3 at the Miller Electric Center down here at training camp wrapping up. We got Jaguar running back Tank Bigsby with us here on 1010XL. Tank, how'd it go out there today?
Well, great. Flying around, just having fun. Thank the Lord for giving us the opportunity to be here today.
You were the young guy not that long ago. Now you got a couple of rookies in the running back room. What's it like coming into year 3 for you?
Just game slowing down, detail, just knowing things happen before it happens sometimes. It's amazing just being out here with the guys. It's fun.
When you think about being out here 2 years ago compared to being out here now, how is Tank Bigsby's game different in the last 24 months?
I would just say the mental process, just everything's slowing down. Being with my feet at, not trying to do too much at one time, just being with my feet at and handle what I have to handle in that moment.
There's a lot of fans that are obviously very excited about the 1-2 combo with you and Travis Etienne. You had a couple of rookies as well. Just talk about the running back room. You guys got a lot of depth this year.
We're in there competing, just out there having fun, teaching each other everything, learning from each other, just elevating every day we can get opportunity out there. Just every time we get an opportunity to be great, we just go out and be great.
I know there's a lot of fans that are happy they had roster sheets out here. There's like 40, 45 new guys that were not here in January. You were here in January. What's been the changeover on the roster been like for a veteran like yourself?
Just coach getting guys in. He feel that he need for his culture on this team. And whatever he need on his team to get us where we got to go. So he the check captain of the ship, and the players got to lead. So at the end of the day, he getting the right people in, and it's our job to do what we have to do.
A couple more for Jaguar running back Tank Bigsby. Liam Cohen, talk about him. What do you like about him as a head coach?
He's an offensive genius. First of all, he's a great man. Relationship guy. He speaks with all of us. Very humble coach. He loves things to be very detailed. So sky's the limit with coach. Just got to come out and do his offense how he want it done and fly around.
Obviously, it's a different offense. For the average NFL fan, are they going to be able to tell a difference in what you guys are running on offense, or is it kind of X's and O's and maybe the average casual fan won't notice it?
I'm going to just say, surprise. With Coach Lim, he got a lot of stuff up his sleeve, and whatever it is, it's going to come and it's going to be a blessing for this team. So whenever it comes, it just comes. I want it to be a surprise for the fans and the world.
As we wrap up, there's fans that have a lot of expectations about you this year. Fans are excited about Tank Bigsby this year, and I'm sure you hear it, in the city. I mean, what's your thought coming into year 3 and the expectation around, your game this year?
Just be the best version of myself every day. Get opportunity, execute through it, and be with my feet at. Be a leader on this team, lead the guys, and just less talking. Just more action, lead with my action, and just hopefully every time I get opportunity, I can be at my best self, and the coaches believe in me, and that's how we're going to rock out.
Leave us with this, Tank. You, Travis, obviously you go to Hunter and BTJ, De'Ami Brown, certainly Trevor Lawrence. There's a lot of talent on this offense, man. Do you feel that when you're in that offensive meeting room?
Oh, yeah. You feel the energy, but like I said, it's a day-to-day process. Come out here, get better every day and day and day, and let the season handle itself. We're not looking forward. We're right here where our feet at right now. Day 3 of camp, heading to 4. So we got to be where our feet at and execute every day.
What about War Eagle this year? What does Auburn got going?
War Eagle all day. Go Tigers, man. I hope Coach Hughes do his thing down there, man. I've been hoping them guys get right in their ears. I can feel it in my heart. So I see big things coming for Auburn this year.
Giving a little guidance to Jalen McLeod, being another former Tiger here now?
Oh, yeah, we talked. He across from me in locker. Yeah, he asked me about Auburn, how I was when I was there, teach him stuff here now. So it's a blessing just have some more War Eagles on the team and Tigers, and just getting an opportunity to be around brothers that had the same mindset as me, basically.
Tank, appreciate the time, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There you go, Tank Bigsby with us here on Hacker After Dark. And again, it goes without saying, thank you to the Jaguar PR staff, Emily, Dylan, Amanda, Lindsay, John, all the folks down there for helping us out all week, and they will continue to do great work as we're going to have these one-on-one conversations every practice of Jaguar training camp. And the thing with Tank Bigsby, look, he and Brenton Strange both, particularly their rookie year, I think a lot was expected of them. Brenton Strange, a second-round pick. Tank Bigsby was, a third-round pick? And they came in, and Bigsby, look, right off the bat, the first game the guy ever played in, he had one of the weirdest things imaginable happen, where remember that ball hit like his foot? I'm sorry. The play he thought was blown dead, it wasn't blown dead. He stopped running. The Colts caused a fumble, and it was returned for a touchdown. Just bizarre. And for whatever reason, and I was guilty of this as well, people were getting on Tank a little bit, and Brenton Strange, quite frankly, their rookie years, for lack of production. Sometimes it takes guys, even if they're second-round picks or third-round picks, sometimes it takes guys a couple of years. And I think with Bigsby in particular last year, for all season, you saw tremendous growth. I also think you saw that out of Brenton Strange middle to end of the year when Evan Ingram was out. And now both guys coming into year number 3, and now here we go. These guys are now playing for potential contract extensions next season, and I expect big things from both. It's obvious that the new staff loves Brenton Strange, right? That's apparent because they let Evan Ingram go, who's now in Denver. So Brenton Strange is the man at tight end. There's not even any debate about that. And I'm telling you, Tank Bigsby, if I had to bet money on it right now, would be RB1 when the season starts. Now, I expect ETN and Bashal Tootin and LaQuint Allen to all make the roster. I don't necessarily buy the trade stuff with ETN. You still hear that, but if they were going to do that, I thought they would have done that by now. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be a better football team in 2025 if Travis Etienne is here. Whatever happens after this season happens, but for the here and now, I hope Travis Etienne is on this roster. I think Tank Bigsby is going to be RB1, but having said that, I still think you're going to get a good amount of Travis Etienne, and I'm very high on Bashal Tootin, the running back, the rookie from Virginia Tech, and quite frankly, there's not going to be enough carries. But LaQuint Allen, this kid from Syracuse, 7th rounder. I can't wait for the pads to come on to see him. And the cool thing about Allen, and I guess Tootin as well, is we're going to see them in the preseason. We're going to see them a lot in the preseason. I don't know how much you're going to see Bigsby, and I don't know how much you're going to see ETN, but we're going to see Bashal Tootin, and we're going to see LaQuint Allen. And I cannot wait for August 9th and August 17th and these preseason games to get here to see what the Jaguars have with those two rookie running backs. I'm very high on that running back room. With Bigsby, ETN, Tootin, and Allen, I think all four make the team, make the 53. I don't think you can take the chance to put one of the rookies on the practice squad. But again, good things I think are in store for Tank Bigsby. He's a good guy. I'm rooting for him. And I think he's in for a big year here in 2025. By the way, I mentioned the defense won the day today, by and large. I talked about Tyson Campbell having a good day. Tyson Campbell was matched up with Brian Thomas Jr. on a couple of situations. BTJ, look, it's July 25th, all right? So I'm not going to read anything into it. Brian Thomas Jr. is still, to me, top 10, top 5 wide receiver in the league. But it wasn't a great day for Brian Thomas Jr. Some days just aren't. There were a couple of situations. Now, they would have been good catches. They would have been tough catches. But he didn't make them. He was frustrated by it. There was one in the corner of the end zone that got batted away. He probably thought he had it still. And you could see there was a little bit of frustration. It's the third day in a row. Even though it's in the morning, it's hot. You know, wait till the pads come on. The frustrations tend to boil over pretty quick when the pads come on. We see it in almost every training camp. We already saw it with Dallas. You had already a skirmish between teammates there. But I did sense that Brian Thomas was a little frustrated today at the way he played, which will be good, right? He'll have tomorrow to think about it, and that wouldn't surprise me at all if come up Sunday, he is very, very motivated to have a good day at the office prior to the pads coming on Monday. A guy that knows all about training camp, a guy that has been a position coach in the NFL, a defensive coordinator in the NFL, and a head coach in the NFL is my buddy Dave Campo. Always enjoy having the head coach on. Let's talk Jaguar training camp week 1. Let's talk about the pads coming on next week. Let's talk Travis Hunter, Tyson Campbell, Trevor Lawrence. Let's do a deep dive into the Jaguar roster. My pal Dave Campo joins me next on a Friday night here in the city of Jacksonville. You got it locked on. Hacker After Dark.
Let's take a look inside 1010XL.
Who wants the Grand Tour? That would be terrific. That would be great.
We have the drill in the morning.
Very amusing.
Jaguars today from 10 to noon.
Good.
Helmets and heels until 2.
Yes.
XL Prime Time and the Franchi Show afternoons.
This is great.
Then Baloo and Hacker take you into the night.
All in one location.
1010XL.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentist and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. Why so glum?
Stinky ice cubes, Jason. It's all downhill from here.
What?
The tap water at my place smells kind of funky. Funky tap water makes funky ice cubes. I meet a nice girl, invite her back to my place for a cocktail, and blow my whole romantic gesture with a mojito that smells like dog's feet.
Wait, I can totally make you way cooler.
I'm not taking your charity ice cubes, Jason. I have my pride.
Your pride is safe. Our plumbers can be at your house the day you call and install a whole home water purification system. Water tastes better, dishes come out cleaner, even your hair feels better after you shower.
Ooh, the ladies love a man with soft hair, don't they, Jason?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend every day worried about the water in your own home, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Put the ball in the net with 60 minutes of soccer talk. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburg, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
As a Florida homeowner, you're no stranger to mosquito problems. And although it's tempting to use DIY methods to get rid of them, mosquitoes are relentless. That's why it's important to enlist the help of the mosquito experts at Florida Pest Control. At Florida Pest Control, we offer specialized treatment solutions that are effective against mosquito infestations and are committed to keeping our customers protected year-round. For your free quote, give us a call or visit flapest.com today. Florida Pest Control, your local mosquito control experts.
Yo, ET here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your pool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
Denny Thompson here. Look, don't get left in the dark. We're all trying to reason with hurricane season, so at least be prepared. For top-of-the-line generators in Jacksonville, I turn to Tyson. Licensed pros at Tyson deliver reliable, whole-home standby generators and provide fast repair service. They even do custom installations for local businesses, so don't wait. Ensure seamless installation and peace of mind. Call Tyson now, 904-762-1000 for a free estimate on generator services. TysonInc.com.
Football season is here, so I've got to get organized. Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers, wherever that clutter has taken over. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off this month only. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is Hacker After Dark on 1010XL. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. 3 training camp practices now in the rearview mirror. The Jaguars capped off a good first week of training camp. They will be back on the field on Sunday, and the pads come on at the beginning of next week. Let's look back on the first week of training camp. Let's look ahead to the pads coming on and all points in between with my buddy Dave Campo. It's been Monday night coaching with Campo for years here on Hacker After Dark, and we always appreciate the head coach joining us here on 1010XL. Coach, how we doing?
Doing great, Hack. Excited about the coming Jaguar season and getting started in practice. OTAs are one thing, but training camp is the start of everything. And so I'm excited to be able to get out there. And I missed a lot of the OTA practice, just traveling. So now getting ready for this, it's great. I can get to see all of them.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And, Coach, I certainly want to dive into your thoughts on training camp. You were out there this morning, certainly, as we all were at the Miller Electric Center. But I know you talked about this earlier today with the boys on Prime Time. We've known about it for a couple of weeks. Dave Campo has been such a valuable resource to us here on 1010XL. I know me personally with Hacker After Dark and the fifth quarter. But there comes a time where family is obviously the most important thing, and the coach's grandkids and kids are all in the Texas/Arkansas area. Obviously, you got a lot of roots in Dallas from your time out there, and you and the wife are heading out to spend more time with the grandkids, moving back to the Lone Star State.
Yeah, we kind of came, life comes at you fast sometimes. We had a family reunion about 2 months ago, somewhere in that neighborhood. And really, to be honest with you, it's been a while since we've gotten everybody together at the same time. And obviously, we got the bug, and especially my wife, Kay, and myself, being at my age at 78, you want to be around your kids and grandkids, I think. And so we started to hatch the idea of going back, and we decided that's what we were going to do. We sold our house here in one day, which is absolutely unbelievable. And we went out there the last couple of weeks and bought one in a week. So, we're closing on this one on the 27th of August and the one in Dallas on 29th of August. So I'll be here for another month, have a chance to see most of training camp here. I'm going to get the 22, where you see the entire field on the NFL network. And so I'm still going to do stuff back here. I'm going to study the Jaguars just like I always did. And that's going to be something. You guys have become my team, whether it was on the fifth quarter, whether it was on Hacker After Dark, or whether it was when you first started, I started with you on primetime. So that's not going to change, other than it won't be a regular situation like it's been.
Yeah, not a weekly thing during the regular season, but we'll still get the coach on periodically when the regular season gets underway. Well, obviously, we'll have you on another time or two before you leave for Dallas. But again, Coach, I cannot possibly thank you enough. It's not every day that you get to talk to a former NFL head coach and that you get to call a former NFL coach a good buddy of yours. And I've had that luxury now for, 4 or 5 years.
4 years at least, yeah.
Since you started with us. And as nice as you've been to my son Forrest and my family, there are some good dudes in this world, and Dave Campo is certainly one of those. And we're going to miss you. But again, I totally understand family. I totally understand the grandkids. I totally understand wanting to be around your own kids. And we certainly wish you and your wife the best. But again, we'll have you on again more often in the next month or so, and we'll do our final goodbyes, at least at that point. For the here and now, Coach, the next month will be a very interesting month for the Jaguars. You were down at training camp earlier today. Just first and foremost, your impressions from a mile-high view of what you saw down at camp at the Miller Electric Center.
Well, I've seen 2 of the 3 days, and, obviously, unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet the one in the middle, but I'm planning on being at all the rest of them. The one thing that sticks out to me more than anything else is the energy level, the way they're working. They're not, when there's a special teams going on, they're actually working with other guys at positions that are not involved in special teams. So they understand, this group understands, especially now with the less amount of time involved with players, that every single minute matters. And it's not just, when they're out there practicing in the team work, and it's in walkthroughs, it's in extra time before practice and after practice. And I think that's something that was missing here. I think that energy is there. I think they like this coaching staff. I think they're, they know the competition is there, probably more than at any other time since I've been here, for positions and making the football team. I think that this group has improved the floor, obviously, and that means that some guys that have been here are not going to be here. So I think the competition level is there. I think it shows up, and just talking to some of their guys, I think they like this coaching staff, and I think that's going to be a plus.
The head coach, Dave Campo, with us here on Hacker After Dark. Coach, let's go to the defensive side of the ball, your bread and butter, and you and I saw a lot of Tyson Campbell today. Boy, I thought it was a really good day for Tyson Campbell.
Well, I think it was a great day today for the entire defense, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, at this point in time, the offense, it's a very complex offense, and I think that's going to help us in the long run. So, obviously there's a learning curve. I thought, before I get to answer your question, I thought that seeing the first day, I thought they were ahead of where they were a year ago in the first day offensively, which means they were doing work off the field. And I think that that's extremely important, that they didn't just go on vacation to the Bahamas and sit around for a month. So from a defensive standpoint, I thought it was a really good day for the defense today overall. It's hard to do anything with the defensive and offensive line until they put the pads on. But Tyson Campbell, the one thing I loved was they ran a couple takeoffs, one of them by BTJ, excuse me. I got the serial killer on my mind there, BTK.
Yeah, I was about to say, if BTK is running pass routes, we got problems down there.
Yeah. It's BTJ. Ran a takeoff on him, and he could not run by Tyson. So when Tyson's healthy, he's got all the tools that are necessary to be an outstanding corner, and I think he's got to be the face of the corner group, in my opinion. And I think if he stays healthy, he will be that face, and we'll see some really good things from him.
You know, with Brian Thomas Jr., Coach, it's hard to say you struggle at third training camp practice, but it obviously wasn't as crisp for the offense as you said. And there were a lot of instances today where Brian Thomas was looking a little frustrated out there. The ball just hit off his fingertips, just a touch too long, or the coverage was good, or whatever the reason was. It just looked like Brian Thomas Jr. was getting a little flustered today.
Well, it wasn't a good day for him, and I think that there are some catches. I've seen him make tough catches. There's no question about it in my mind that he can make them, along with, getting himself open with his speed and all of that. This guy's going to be an outstanding player in the league. There's no doubt in my mind. Sometimes things just don't go as well as others, and I think he got a little frustrated, especially when he went up for the one high ball, didn't come down with it, but landed on his back. Now, he went back out there and ran some more routes, so that wasn't an issue. But I think the frustration part is I believe he thinks that he can be the best in the league, and that's good. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. So it wasn't as good a day as he's had, but I think he's going to have a lot of good days before it's all over.
I know you talked with Travis Hunter briefly after practice today. Travis Hunter had the white defensive jersey on, although he was still doing drills with the wide receivers at the beginning of practice. What was your take on Travis Hunter today on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, I think he's a natural over there. They didn't really test him today. I mean, you really didn't see anything out there that you say, wow, this guy's this or that. But we saw some plays in OTAs that showed what he can do. That one interception he had in one-on-one in OTAs when he was running vertical with the guy and the ball was thrown inside, he got his head around and he actually was going down and intercepted the ball. So I'm not worried about him on defense. He's not going to start on defense. He's going to start on offense. But there are going to be key situations where that guy can shut a guy down, and he's all about instincts and knowing the receivers and seeing the ball thrown and all those things. He's going to be very good over there. And when I talked to him today, I just kind of introduced myself to him. It's interesting because when I first said Travis, he didn't know who I was. And I said, hey, I'm Dave Campo. I was the head coach of the Cowboys. I coached Dion and Little Fella, the secondary coach. He got the biggest smile on his face I've seen. He really understands, loves the game and loves people that have been involved with his guys. And so I'm looking for really good things from him.
A couple more for the head coach, Dave Campo. Again, no pads on, but what was your initial thoughts on Trevor Lawrence today?
Well, I think Trevor is showing that his footwork is better. I think he's getting the ball out quicker. There were some throws that he'd like to have back today. But I think he's ahead of where he was, and I think this is going to be one of those things where he's going to have to utilize his mental ability as much as physical, and I think that's good. I think that forces him to be more involved. I think he did a good job in the offseason. I think he went and he had a really good day the first day. But this one was not quite as good, I don't think. But at the same time, you can see that he's grasping the offense, and he's going to control a lot of it on the field. Their attack is, get me out of the bad plays and put me into good ones. And I think he's definitely smart enough and competitive enough to grasp that. And we'll see what happens. And I think he's got a few more targets out there that can help.
Coach, I had the opportunity to talk with Tank Bigsby after practice today, and boy, you can just see the I won't even call it a confidence, but maybe just a quiet confidence that he has coming into year 3. Said the game's slowing down for him. He has a much better understanding of his role and moments that he's in now, and it's not, just a blur like it might have been his rookie campaign. What do you make of that running back room with Bigsby, with Etienne, and with the rookies, Tootin and LaQuinn Allen?
Well, first of all, I thought Liam kind of made a comment after practice about the fact that, he's got Liam as a head coach now can not only, worry about what the offense is doing, but he's worried about what the defense is doing. So it's a completely different learning experience for him right now. And he made the comment, he said, without the pads on, it's hard to evaluate the running backs and the offensive line. But he was really happy with guys. The vision was good. We've seen Bigsby hit the hole pretty good, and they're running the ball more than they have at any time with the last group, especially after 3 practices without any pads on. They're running the football, and they're going to run the football. And the key is going to be whether or not they can run the football. And that comes down to what the offensive line does. But Bigsby, the one thing he's shown me, he's able to put his foot in the ground and accelerate. And, he may be a step or 2 slower than Etienne, and I don't know about Etienne, but I know Tootin he is. But his acceleration and seeing things are much better now than they were, and that comes from experience and what you said about him saying it's not a blur out there. I think that's a very good offensive back group. I think Tootin, before it's all over, if he holds on to the football, he's going to definitely be a factor. I think all of it is going to be measured by who blocks the best in the passing game, because I think all of them can run. And I think Etienne will get the ball a little bit more on the outside and, getting the ball, throwing him to him. And I think LaQuinn Allen, his deal is he's done everything for Syracuse, but pass blocking is one of the things that he's done very well. Knowing protections, all those kind of things. So I think it's a really good room. And, it's going to be interesting to see what they do when the pads come on. But I think Bigsby is ready to kind of take control of the backfield.
The head coach, Dave Campo. Coach, final moments. Look, they haven't had pads on in over 6 months. Most of these guys, if not all of them, in over 6 months. How jonesing are they? How anticipating are they of getting those pads on early next week?
Well, I think they're all ready to get the pads on. I think the coaching staff has done a good job of preparing them for, getting ready for that. And football starts on Monday, and I had an opportunity to visit with Baselli a little bit, and the one thing he said is, he said, we're going to be tough. Mm-hmm. So that to me means that within the rules and within the safety situation, they're going to hit. When they come out and they put the pads on, we're gonna be able to evaluate the offensive and defensive line, in my opinion. And I think that's where we're at. I think, like I said, they're going to run the football. We're going to find out whether or not the offensive line can block. That in itself is a key because of the new guys that are in. And I think they're going to give some of the younger guys an opportunity to beat some of the older guys out too. So I think you're going to see a lot starting on Monday. I think you're going to see a physical football team.
The head coach, Dave Campo. Coach, I know you've been very busy today. Thank you for taking time out with us this evening. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you out there at training camp.
Absolutely. I'll see you Sunday and Monday and right on through. And thanks a lot for having me on, Hack. You guys have become my team. And I actually, when they announced it today on primetime, when Joe announced it, I actually got a little bit of tears in my eyes. So it's a mixed deal for me. And I also want to mention before we get off that the reason we came back here in the first place was because of this community. And I'm hopeful that the Jaguars can do what they need to do to give this fan base an opportunity to get some excitement going and cheering going, and hopefully that's going to happen.
Well, there's no doubt that we're going to miss you. We got you for another month. But like you said, even when you go back to Dallas, we'll still get you on periodically. You'll still be following the Jaguars from afar, and we certainly look forward to those conversations. You're the best, Coach. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right. Appreciate it, Hack. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
Dan Hicken.
I've seen your type before. Flashy, making the scene.
Jeff Prosser.
He's confident, witty, dynamic.
They are the Drill.
And I think that they're bright and sensitive, so I have no doubts whatsoever about their intelligence.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
The 2025 NFL season is just around the corner, and we can't wait for you to be back at the bank. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are starting off the preseason going head-to-head with the Pittsburgh Steelers Saturday, August 9th. Be at the bank as the Jags take the field for the first time this season, and grab your tickets for a 7 p.m. kickoff by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you soon, Jags fans.
It's back to school season, and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team, we can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox disinfecting wipes, teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. You're on-road, you're off-road, now you're on the water. Greg, tell everybody what Coach and Honda is offering in the form of boats.
We've got the Honda boat, which is a great runabout fisherman. We've got the Coach boats. They're fantastic for getting out with a family. Nice lay-down beds, all with that legendary Honda motor on them.
Check them all out. They're waiting for you. You can see how you can be on the water with Honda or with Coach pontoon boats. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Eye & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Are you ready to play this summer? At the First Coast YMCA, we're committed to being your home for health and wellness and a place for friendly competition with team sports for adults and for kids. Basketball, volleyball, pickleball, flag football, soccer. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Discover all the benefits of YMCA membership and find your fun this summer at the Y. Registration for team sports and summer camps is open now. Visit fcymca.org. Jacksonvillejaguars.org.
When it comes to towing products, your safety is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Hi, I'm John Haney from Clearwater Gutters and Drainage. After heavy rains, the problems are obvious. Mulch blown out of your beds, water standing around your foundation, and that fancy new crater back behind your bushes. Let Clearwater Seamless Gutters help you solve the problem spots.
Clearwater Seamless Gutters. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at gutters. And drainage, too.
Find out more at clearwaterjacks.com.
Celebrate National Carpet Cleaning Month with Zero Res. Hicken here. Check this out. $45 per room of carpet clean. Take 20% off your air duct services. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and take advantage of the savings.
Zero Res.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Halftime, Hacker After Dark, 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. We'll take you up till 10 o'clock as we do every night right here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. Coming up towards the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour, my buddy Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. SEC Media Days is done. The ACC kickoff is done. And fall camps begin, well, next week. The Florida Gators report Wednesday. They are on the field Thursday in Gainesville as they get ready for the 2025 campaign. Georgia, Florida State, and Miami will all follow suit as we are inside of a month away from college football. In fact, the first college football game of the year, week 0, if you will, is Saturday, August the 23rd. So we are, what is that, 29 days? Yeah, 4 weeks from tomorrow, which means we're 36 days away from Florida State, Florida, Georgia, and Miami all getting underway that opening weekend of college football. So Brent Beard comes up later on in the 9 o'clock hour. Coming up in less than 15 minutes, my buddy Cecil Shorts, former wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We will talk training camp. We will look back on the offseason. We will talk Travis Hunter, Trevor Lawrence, Liam Cohen, the whole gamut with a former Jaguar wide receiver, Cecil Shorts. He comes up as well in less than 15 minutes. So, RJ, I don't know if you saw this or not. I don't know if it means anything. Could mean nothing. Could mean something. I'll throw it out there. So, Zach Stevens, who covers the Denver Broncos out in the Mile High City, he is with DVNR Sports out in there in Denver, one of their main beat writers and reporters. Evan Ingram went to the podium today in Denver talking about being a Bronco, right? Like just every Jaguar player does here during the offseason. And Evan Ingram said that the Broncos locker room and players are one of his favorite things about the team so far. All right, good. Said it's hard to be the first one in the building because so many guys are here early. All right. But then he said it was easy to be the first one in the building with the Jaguars. RJ, what, if anything, do you read into that?
For me, I think it further cements the fact that maybe many guys had checked out, whether they wanted to admit it or not. Guys really weren't taking this past season seriously, especially when they got off to a slow start. And Doug Peterson a guy who probably thought that all these guys would hold themselves accountable and he himself wouldn't have to do it.
Well, he checked out about mid-November anyway.
He checked out himself. So, yeah, I mean, of course, you know, guys who love the game and love football, like an Evan Ingram, and we surely appreciate him for what he did here in Jacksonville during his time and his tenure here. So he's saying, listen, I was still coming in the building. Maybe there were other guys that just weren't as motivated to still come into the building and perfect their craft. I mean, that's kind of what I took from it. At the same time, you're now talking about the past regime and probably the lack of culture that was there. But now you're bringing in a new guy in Liam Cohen as well as James Gladstone. And although he's not a new guy, Tony Baselli is new in his position. And every time I'm hearing you talk or anyone else that's been at the training camp so far, the energy is different. The energy, the feeling, the aura, all of that is just completely different. Guys want to be in the building. Guys want to compete and go against one another and make each other better. And I think Evan Ingram's in a situation where, you know, Sean Payton, he's a guy that's, you know, zero tolerance, no nonsense. You guys need to be in the building. You guys need to beat me in the building. So
well, that's the key word, like you said, is different. It needs to be different, and it has been different. And I agree with that, and it does feel different. Here's my thought on Evan Ingram. By the way, I was a gigantic Evan Ingram fan. I still am. I did a thing for the last 2 training camps, I know, because they were both, I believe, at the Miller Electric Center, where I would just snap a photo of Evan Ingram every day at practice because he was always the first guy on the field. Always. Without exception. You walk out there, we go to the media room at the Miller Electric Center, we walk downstairs, we walk out to the practice field, and last year, and I believe 2023 as well, every time they had a training camp practice that was open to the media, Evan Ingram was the first guy out there. So he's exactly right. He was the first one in the building, first one on the field for the Jaguars. Maybe there are a little sour grapes from Evan Ingram. I mean, look, the Jaguars didn't save a lot of money in releasing him. What'd they save? $6 million? Something like that? I just, don't think Evan Ingram really fit into what the Jaguars wanted to do. If they knew they were going to make a move for Travis Hunter, right, and they knew that they liked Brenton Strange and they had their eyes on De'Ami Brown and obviously what Brian Thomas Jr. did, well, there's only so many footballs to go around. And remember what James Gladstone said. It was regarding the defensive line during the question, but it applies to the entire roster. He said something along the lines of, why have veterans in that take playing time away from the younger guys? I'm paraphrasing there, but that's what he said regarding, would he bring in a defensive line veteran? Well, no, I want our young guys to play. Well, in this instance, they probably wanted Brenton Strange to play. And if Evan Ingram was here, Brenton Strange wouldn't be playing. So maybe Evan Ingram was a little sour about that. By the way, he went to a better team. I mean, let's be honest. The Denver Broncos are a better team than Jacksonville. Denver made the playoffs last year. There's a lot of high hopes in Denver. Now, they play in a brutal division because they got to deal with Mahomes and Herbert 4 times a year. So it's a brutal division. The AFC South is easier to win than the AFC West, but the Broncos do have the better team, in my opinion. But I do think that was an unnecessary jab. If it really went the way that Zach Stevens did, all the other Bronco beat writers say it went, when Evan Ingram was asked about being one of the first in the building, he said, well, it's hard to be one of the first when everybody's here so early. But he did add that it was easy to be the first one in the building with the Jaguars. I don't know, man. I mean, kind of throwing your teammates out a little bit, aren't you? That's not a Doug Peterson, Trent Baalke thing. If it's easy to be the first one in the building, is he saying his Bronco teammates are a little more bought in than his Jaguar teammates were last year? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I did find it interesting. At the end of the day, I'm still an Evan Ingram fan. I think Evan, for everything he did here, what do you have, 113 catches that one year or something ridiculous like that? The guy always took time to talk to the media, always took time to sign autographs, was always the first on the field. I like Evan Ingram. So I was a little, I guess, surprised by that comment. But again, he's in a better place now with a better team. And we'll see what happens. Denver should be good. They were a playoff team last year. We'll see what Bo Nix has in year number 2. Let's talk to a former Jacksonville Jaguar, my buddy Cecil Short. 7 years in the National Football League, including 4 right here with the Jaguars. Let's talk Jaguar training camp and more on a Friday evening here in Northeast Florida. We're glad you're with us right here on Hacker After Dark.
It's not girl talk, it's sports talk.
Woo! Coming after you!
Tom McManus adds his helmet to the heels with Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl.
Let's talk football.
Football! Football! At a new time, afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
It's a battle for the playoffs as your Sharks take the field this Saturday. Kickoff at 7. Tickets start at just $15. Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Try the new 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 food vouchers, and a $20 gift card. All for only $100. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700.
Prosser here. Ask about the Sharks 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 food vouchers, and a $20 gift card, all for only $100. It's Military Appreciation Night, presented by True Vet Solutions. All current and former military can purchase a special buy one, get one free ticket deal. Join us on the field after the game for a jersey auction and autograph session, sponsored by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectible. Tickets start at just $15. Call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700.
1010XL is excited to support an evening of all-star fun as comedian David Spade joins MC and Gator basketball great Patrick Young to induct Olympic swimmers Nancy Hogshead and Ryan Murphy, golf legend Jim Furyk, and the iconic Lizard King into the Sawyer Sports Foundation's Jacksonville Sports Hall of Fame, presented by the Nimnick family of dealerships. Saturday, July 26th at the Community First Igloo. For single ticket and table sponsorship, go to JacksonvilleIceman.com.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is poured at Southern Coast Seafood, now open Mondays. Enjoy craft for $12.99 a pound on Tuesdays. Drink Brackish Wednesdays with $1 oyster on the half shell. Brackish Vodka is the first clean craft vodka made right here in Jacksonville for whatever your sport is. If your sport is crab at Southern Coast, your vodka is Brackish. Southern Coast Seafood, now open Mondays. Brackish Vodka, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
The Tom Coughlin J Fund helps families battling childhood cancer, and there are ways you can help. Go to tcjfund.org.
City Rescue Mission has been providing food, clothing, and love for over 70 years to the homeless in Jacksonville. If someone you know is struggling, learn more about the City Rescue Mission at crmjax.org.
You have healing power. Even writing a letter or volunteering can help heal a veteran. Find out more at healvets.org.
If you know someone with cancer and no insurance, call the U.S. Uninsured Helpline at 800-234-1317.
Hope Haven believes in children and youth with special needs and abilities and has developed programs to help ensure their success. Find out more about their employment services and internship program at hope-haven.org.
If you're involved in a community event and you'd like us to help spread the word, find out how at 1010XL.com.
Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Circa Resort and Casino has 2 epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Circa Million, pick 5 games weekly against the spread for $1 million grand prize. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no spread, last one standing wins $15 million. Enter at any Circa in Nevada, play anywhere. Sign up for either and get 50% off a 2-night stay. Helmets and Heels will be live from Circa in Vegas on August 22nd. Full contest details at circasports.com and the 1010XL homepage.
Sometimes you agree with him, sometimes you don't.
On the runway, I'm coming in hot.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. 1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. Training camp week has arrived. The Jaguars will be on the field Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as Liam Cohen, James Gladstone, Tony Baselli, and the new crew in charge of the Jacksonville Jaguars kick off their first Jaguar training camp. Let's talk about all of it with a man that knows all about training camp in the NFL. He played 7 years in the National Football League, including 4 right here in Jacksonville. You get him every week here on Hacker After Dark during the season. That's my buddy, former Jaguar wide receiver, Cecil Shorts. Cecil, it's been a little while, man. Hope your summer's going well for you.
Man, RG, summer's going well, but football is back. It's just this feeling that, and it's a good feeling when football's coming around. So Wednesday can't come here fast enough. All the news from every team is still going to start coming out. So it's an exciting time of year.
Cecil, you did 7 training camps in your career in the National Football League. What's the emotion of players as they report and take the field for that first day of camp?
Ooh, so that's a good question. Right now, guys are getting ready to either go to the city or go to their team, spend last time with you guys. You got family, spending time there, but it's go time. Especially in Jacksonville right now, you got something to prove. So you're excited about going to training camp. You're excited about proving yourself if you're a draft pick. You're excited about coming in if you're a free agent. You're excited about earning your spot. You're excited about the new head coach. There's a lot of excitement going into training camp right now. It's a lot of build-up. There'll be a lot of healthy tension out there as well because you want to do well. And everybody knows how serious it is and how much this is important for your career and for the team to be successful. So this is a fun time of year, an exciting time of year, but it's definitely go time.
See, so there's a lot of aspects I want to talk about with you, but number one, normally this time of the off season, I'm pretty good with jersey numbers. I like to consider myself a numbers guy, and I don't really need a roster sheet normally from the Jaguar PR staff. I'm going to need one this week because of the 90 guys that are going to be there beginning Wednesday morning. Over half of those guys were not even here in January when last season ended. You always talk about building chemistry and cohesiveness in training camp. Well, that's never more true here in Jacksonville because the roster turnover this offseason was absolutely massive.
Man, it's going to be critical. Like the roster turnover, the head coach turnover, the GM. There's so many new people in the building. So everybody is learning how to be cohesive. Everybody's learning how to work together. Everybody's learning the terminology, learning just as individuals how to communicate and how to coach people, right? One thing that Cohen, I think, has done a really good job of in Tampa last year, he turned that offense completely around in his 1 year as an OC. So the challenge for him is, can he do that this year? But can he do that while communicating how he needs to communicate? Can he reach the guys the same way? Can he build a relationship with those guys so they can play the best for him? So it's a lot that goes into it. But I totally agree with you, man. It's a big time of year. Not just this time, because you got mini camp, you had OTA and stuff like that. But this is the most important time of year when it comes to building that cohesiveness and getting to know each other and really putting a good product out there on the field.
Former Jaguar wide receiver Cecil Shorts with us here on 1010XL as Jaguar training camp is set to kick off this week. Cecil, it's a big year for Trevor Lawrence, and I feel like I talk to you about this every July coming into training camp, but this is, look, he's going to be 26 in October, right? He's not 22 anymore. Now, this is his 4th head coach in 6 years. If you go back to his final year at Clemson, I mean, Cecil, for crying out loud, it's going to be the 3rd straight year he's had a different center to learn with. I mean, he has not been dealt the best hand of cards here in Jacksonville, but at the end of the day, the contract he got, the fact that he's not the young kid anymore, I mean, this is a massive year for Trevor, correct?
It's a huge year. And all those things you mentioned is very true with the centers, with the coordinators, with the head coaches, but it doesn't matter. Like, you coming out of college with the #1 overall pick, you got your 2nd contract, your job is to produce. Not just statistics, but also wins, right? And that's the unfair thing when it comes to playing quarterback. But at the end of the day, that's what matters. So to me, I'm just going to be honest with you, this is a make or break year. If you look at Liam, he just came from a situation where Baker Mayfield, in his first year as an OC, Baker Mayfield had his career year, 4,500 yards. Career year passing touchdowns. Awesome. Turn that offense completely around. So the pressure's not on Liam because Liam signed a contract. He had 4 or 5 years, however long it takes. This is going to be Trevor's pressure. He has to go out there and perform. He has to go out there. They put a plethora of weapons around him. They drafted a guy who plays both ways. both ways. And he's exceptional at doing it, right? And we'll see. That's another conversation. We'll see how that goes. But you got a Brian Thomas. You got so many weapons around you. It's time for him to step up, stay healthy, step up and play well. When he's healthy, he's not bad at all. When he's healthy, he's one of the top 15 guys in the league. When he's not, he's battling through injuries, then we see the ups and downs of Trevor Lawrence. So this is a make-or-break year for him because he doesn't perform this year under a new coach, under a new GM. Guess what? He's not their guy. So there will be no issue with them going out there. Not saying this will happen, but think about trading or bringing somebody else in for competition, right? So this is a big year for Trevor. I believe in Trevor. I think he can do it, but he has to stay healthy and then produce when his numbers go.
So let's talk about those skill position players. All right, Brian Thomas Jr., you mentioned Travis Hunter. I'm pretty high on De'Ami Brown as well, the young man they brought in from Washington on a one-year deal. We know about Parker Washington. I mean, those four guys in particular, there is no doubt there is talent there, and I think a lot of people are intrigued here, Cecil, to see particularly how Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter are going to work out there together.
It's going to be fun to watch. Like, these two guys are dynamic. Brian Thomas Jr., we've seen what he can do last year. You talked about it. How soon can he develop? How soon can he, get on the field and get reps? And from day one, he was making plays. Like, he was so comfortable and smooth out there, taking the top off the defense, running routes, getting open, create separation. So now going in year two, this is where the hard part comes in. Can you be consistently good? Can you be good in year two when people are waiting for you, are preparing for you, are going to double you? But what they did was bring in another guy, in Travis Hunter. And people forget, because you mentioned De'Ami Brown. I love De'Ami. I think he'd be really good in the slot. I love Parker Washington. He showed some flashes last year. He can be good in the slot. But people forget about Brenton Strange. Like, Brenton, to me, is the guy that can be special. Former second-round pick. He's a guy that showed some promise last year when Evan Ingram was out, right? He made some big-time plays, had some really good games, showed consistency. So there's weapons galore. Now it's about getting these guys the ball. And, again, to me, that falls on Trevor. Give these guys the ball, just throw to the open guy. If you get the ball in Travis's hands, you get the ball in De'Ami's hands, you get the ball in BT's hands, let them work. Let them do the hard part. You just find a spot to put it, let them catch it, and make them work.
Couple of more for former Jaguar wide receiver Cecil Shorts. Cecil, I don't think it matters who wins the, quote, starting job, because I think both of these guys are going to have a big role in the offense. But there does appear to be a competition between Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby for that, quote-unquote, RB1 role as training camp opens.
It's going to be interesting. I think last year Tank surpassed Travis for whatever the reason. I'm not sure what was going on with Travis, if it was injuries. This wasn't confidence in the hole. This wasn't making enough plays or accumulative things. But I think it's important going into, if you look at the offense last year in Tampa, I keep going back to, because I'm thinking about Liam and how he runs his ship, right? So you had Bucky Irving that came in late, but then you also had the starter that was already there playing well as well. So they used two backs in different situations, and they both played well and got yards and got touches. So when it comes to Tank and it comes to Travis, I can kind of see the same thing happening. Doesn't really matter who is the number one or 1A, 1B. If I'm Travis in a contract year, I definitely want to be that 1A guy.
You know as well as anybody, Cecil, there's 7 years in the league, that you can have the best wide receivers and running back and quarterback on planet Earth, and none of it matters if you don't have an offensive line. Now, what the Jaguars did this offseason is they went out and got 6 new guys to come in, 4 in free agency, 2 in the draft. I happen to think all 6 are going to make the team. I think you sprinkle in, obviously, Walker Little and Anton Harrison, Ezra Cleveland as well. I think there are going to be some offensive linemen that are going to have a hard time making this roster that have been here the last couple of years. But we talk about chemistry and cohesiveness. Well, that's a huge factor on the O-line. How much of a concern is it for you that there are so many new guys in that offensive line room?
I'm not that concerned. It's about finding the right 5 or 6 that can be the best that they can be, right? So wherever that 5 or 6 is. Last year, I think you really struggled at right tackle. I think Harrison needed to have some I expected him to have a bigger jump last year than what he did in year 2. So you bring competition in. That's what it is. Like, you have to bring competition in at all positions to be able to get the best out of your guys. So as long as you can find the best 5, 6, 7, and I say 7 because 6 and 7 can be guys that sub in if somebody gets hurt, right? But you got to find a solid 7, especially that first 5, that can protect, that can pass block, that can really get the things going in the run game, because that's what's going to be key for Trevor Lawrence, for that offense in general. You can get points on the board if you protect number 16 back there.
Final moments with former Jaguar wide receiver Cecil Shorts as Jaguar training camp set to open at the Miller Electric Center on Wednesday morning. Cecil, I know you always look at the defensive backs because goodness knows you went up against a bunch of great ones during your 7-year career. Take Travis Hunter out of the equation for a moment. Tyson Campbell, Jarian Jones, Jordan Lewis. I know the staff really likes Monteric Brown as well. Do the Jaguars have enough at corner to maybe ease Travis Hunter in there, or do you think Travis Hunter is going to need to play because of issues at corner?
I think this is my honest opinion. I think you have enough right now to start out without Travis, and maybe he pays packages. And as time goes on, you'll see what happens. You'll make adjustments, right? But I think the corner group that you just mentioned, the DB group that you just mentioned, love me some Tyson Campbell. I actually like Jordan Lewis a lot. So we'll see how it goes. But I think you have enough to at least start the season and be productive. Now, if guys are getting hurt, guys are not showing what they can, that they're playing the best of their ability, or if Travis is just that special, if he's just that good that he should be out there more and more and more, then I think you'll see him.
The only position, Cecil, they really didn't address in free agency or the draft is the interior of the defensive line. Now, what I think the argument is there is they move Eric Armstead back inside, which he should have been all along. It was ridiculous what they were doing last year. So maybe you could count Armstead as an addition because that's where he's going to be. But you got him, you got Mason Smith, Devon Hamilton, Jordan Jefferson, and I believe Tyler Lacey. Those are going to be the 5. I would be shocked if those weren't the 5 on opening day in the interior of the D-line. Are you comfortable there, or do you think there might be some issues?
I'm comfortable. I think Eric is more comfortable inside. I got a chance to hang out with him a little bit in the offseason. That's some stuff. He just seems like a guy that's more comfortable inside. Of course, he was being a team guy last year, doing whatever coach says. But I think he's more comfortable in that interior place. So you can say he's an added guy or a new guy in that area, but I think he's going to be dominant. You'll see his production skyrocket, or his presence be known in the middle of the field. And I think Mason's going to take a big step this year. It's hard coming in as a young guy. It's hard coming in not knowing how to take care of your body, as he mentioned in previous interviews and stuff I was reading. So him just learning how to take care of his body and be a professional. He came on stronger at the end of the year last year. So I think he can also help out in that interior line. So I think you have enough right now. But as you know, as preseason goes, as you see other guys step up or other guys get cut from other teams, there can be additions here and there. But I think right now, I'll be honest with you, this roster is set up where you can have a winner this year. I don't know how good you could be, but I think right now you have a chance to have a winning record for sure.
See, so as we wrap up, the safety position is also going to be really interesting. You're very familiar with Eric Murray from his time in Houston. He comes in projected to be a starter. They draft Caleb Ransaw out of Tulane. Of course, you got Antonio Johnson and Darnell Savage. If you consider the special teams guys with Dewey Wingard and Daniel Thomas, and mention Rayon Lane, too. They drafted him out of Navy. There's just simply not enough roster spots for all those guys. There's going to be an odd man out. I think safety is going to be fascinating as camp opens.
It's going to be one of the most interesting position groups to watch because, as you mentioned, it's not enough numbers. Like the numbers are what they are, and depending on how many they keep at corner, how many they keep at safety, how many linebackers, all of it plays a role, right? How many defensive linemen they'll keep, and then how many of those guys are truly good and special on special teams, right? How many of those guys can really produce on that side of the football, which is not talked about a lot, but as you know, RG, it's super important. It's extremely important, and that's how you can. There's guys that last 10, 12 years in the league just by maybe bouncing around a little bit, but just by being able to play special teams, running down on gunner, running down on kickoff, and be able to make the team. But also, just because you play special teams does not mean you when your number is called, say a Savage goes down, say somebody in that back goes down, you got to be able to step up and be able to be productive in the defensive backfield as well. So it's going to be a tough call. But like you mentioned, it's always about numbers. There's always surprise cuts here and there too. But that would be definitely a position to watch going into training camp.
Cecil, final question. I think you had the luxury of playing for 3 head coaches here in 4 years, right? It is kept constantly turning over head coaches during your time here in Jacksonville. What are the players' anticipations of Liam Cohen? I mean, the guys that were brought in with Doug Peterson, or heck, some of the guys that were here from Doug Marrone, now Cohen in his first training camp as the head coach. What's kind of the dynamic there between the players and the coach as training camp opens?
You're still feeling them out. You're still trying to get to know them. You're still in the process of building a relationship with a new head coach, right? I think one of the things that will help him a lot, I think other coaches done this in the past, is just really talking to the guys. As you're walking into the locker room, sitting down, talking to them, talking about ball, talking about family, just getting to know the guys more and more and more. Then you go into details of the game plan, details of what you want to see him get better at, call guys into your office and things like that. But it's a process that you can't rush, but you still have to get to know each other, right? And I think that's going to be a huge thing. I think Liam's done a good job just from the outside looking in. I think he's done a good job of kind of just being himself. He's kind of goofy. He's kind of silly. Even Gladstone, they're not like your normal, typical, I should say, your typical, not mean, but your typical type of GM and head coach. They seem very relatable. They seem like they're very open to talking to the guys. They seem very honest. They seem very genuine, right? So if they can just continue that and be consistent every day, I think the guys will love them. And I think it's going to be a good training camp, a good start to the year.
Former Jaguar wide receiver, Cecil Shorts. Cecil, really appreciate it. We'll touch base again before the preseason opener in a couple of weeks. Thank you as always, pal.
Hey, thanks, RG. Talk to you soon.
When your team is a predator, you're always on the hunt for more.
And the Jags are in the end zone again.
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
And the Jaguars have cracked 50 points.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
I'm Hammer and Hayes Carline, and I've been known to drop an opinion like a 2-ton hammer. Weekdays on The Frangie Show.
Hammer Time with Hayes on 1010XL, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. Why so glum?
Stinky ice cubes, Jason. It's all downhill from here.
What?
The tap water at my place smells kind of funky. Funky tap water makes funky ice cubes. I meet a nice girl, invite her back to my place for a cocktail, and blow my whole romantic gesture with a mojito that smells like dog's feet.
Wait, I can totally make you way cooler.
I'm not taking your charity ice cubes, Jason. I have my pride.
Your pride is safe. Our plumbers can be at your house the day you call and install a whole home water purification system. Water tastes better, dishes come out cleaner, even your hair feels better after you shower.
Ooh, the ladies love a man with soft hair, don't they, Jason?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend every day worried about the water in your own home, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville, we are glad you are with us. Boy, so much going on with Jaguar training camp this week. You look on that calendar and you realize we are now inside of a week until practice beginning in Gainesville, in Tallahassee, also down with the Miami Hurricanes. And the college football season is now officially inside of 1 month. Week 0, the Dublin, Ireland game, I believe, between a couple of Big 12 teams, Iowa State and Kansas State, if memory serves. That kicks off on August the 23rd. Let's talk about all of it. Let's also recap an eventful SEC Media Days last week with my buddy Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News, and you also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Mr. Beard, how are you, my friend?
Well, it is different and nice to be home from Media Days that were in Atlanta. We got a little snippet of what we can expect for the coming season. But, heck, it's really different than what it used to be in many ways. I mean, you would have the clear winner, and then, the clear winner would be basically the team that represents the league. So obviously Texas is the team that has been picked by everybody to win. Not everybody, but a good majority of them. But there are several challengers to the Longhorns, and that's what makes it exciting at this point.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And Florida was picked to finish 6th. We'll get to the Gators in a moment. But since you mentioned Texas, let's begin right there. A lot of people are picking them to win the league, and with good reason, a very, very good team. But, Brent, I look at that schedule, and I see road games at both Georgia and Florida. It's not going to be easy for Texas this year.
No, it's really not. I mean, they've only got 4 starters on offense and 7 on defense. So there absolutely is no doubt. Now, they've got the off week before they play at Florida, and then we know Oklahoma and Texas is in Dallas. Then they go to, and they're fortunate with this. They go to Kentucky, then they go to Mississippi State, which is certainly winnable games. But boy, oh boy, how about at Georgia, home with Arkansas and A&M to end the season? So, is it one of the easier SEC schedules? You could say that, but then they start the season with Ohio State. So it's a mixed bag, is it not?
Yeah, there's no doubt. You go to Columbus, Ohio, Athens, Georgia, and Gainesville. I'm sure Texas is sitting here saying we deserve a little bit of a break with some of our other games. Those are 3 bears of road games for Texas. But along with the Longhorns, Brent, the vibe I was getting, you tell me, you were on the ground up in Atlanta, and you and I had talked about this going into Media Days. It seems like 4 teams have maybe separated themselves a little bit, that being Texas, Georgia, Alabama, and LSU. Is that the vibe you got up there in Atlanta?
Yep, it is. Look, it's just a different day now. Now that we've gone into the playoff, it's not just, okay, you win the playoff, that means you're going to be in the national championship game. No, that is not the case at all. And for Georgia, they're picked to be in the championship game with Texas, but you got to go to Tennessee. You've got Alabama at home. You go to Auburn. You got Florida and Jacksonville, and then you've got Texas at home. So now these games will help them. But then they end the season with Georgia Tech and Atlanta. So it still is going to be a tough road to hoe for the Dogs.
You see Brent Beard on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. We've talked about Texas. We've talked about Georgia. Let's talk about your alma mater, the Alabama Crimson Tide. A big year for Kalen DeBoer. And, we've looked at it from a Florida State point of view, Brent. That game on August 30th in Tallahassee. That's a big one for Mike Norvell, but that's also a big one for Kalen DeBoer in year number 2.
It is. There's no doubt about that. Bama's won its last 23 season openers, which is impressive to say the least, but they have not had that many games with Florida State. It's the 5th all-time meeting with Florida State. It's the first ever game in Tallahassee. Bama's got a week off before they play Georgia. They go to Missouri. They go to South Carolina, and they go to Auburn. So no doubt it's going to be different for them. But at the same time, I really do think that Ty Simpson is going to do a credible job at quarterback. They've got Jam Miller, Ryan Williams, running back and wide receiver, Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton, in a really good offensive line. They actually could be better than say the 9-4 they were last year.
Let's talk about the fourth of those teams, LSU. Now, Brent, we're going to find out about the Tigers pretty quick, man. You got games against Clemson and Florida in the first 3 weeks of the year. I know a lot of people love Nussmeier. A lot of people think Brian Kelly and LSU is going to have a pretty good squad. What's your opinion on LSU coming into the season?
Well, we say that, but do we really know that yet? And again, that Clemson game is huge for them. It's the opener. They are like 0-4 and season openers as of late, losing twice to FSU, losing once to Southern Cal. So that this is a huge game for them. There's no doubt about it. But to your point, what's going to be tough for them is you've got Florida. And that is a home game. Then you go to Ole Miss all in September. So, heck, for LSU, Clemson, at Clemson, Florida, and at Ole Miss, that's a pretty tough opening month, is it not?
There's no doubt. And, you know, looking at the schedule on August 30th, normally, Brent, when we saw huge games like this in the past, it was at those neutral site venues like Dallas and Atlanta, and there are still games there. But the fact that LSU goes to Clemson, Texas goes to Ohio State, Alabama goes to Florida State, is that a product of the playoff? Are we going to see that more?
We could. I think that's very possible. And frankly, look, the teams that you just talked about, they need to be tested, and they need to be tested early, and that's going to give them that. Also, and again, we've got a certain amount of ACC versus SEC matchups too.
Couple more for Brent Beard. You get him locally on First Coast News. You also have him right here on Hacker After Dark. All right, Brent, Florida last week was picked to finish, I believe, 6th in the conference. That's certainly an improvement from where people thought the Gators were last year. What were your biggest takeaways from when Florida was in Atlanta last week?
I thought it was huge. And DJ Lagway was there, and he was able to make comments. Now, they had not brought him. People would be saying, well, he's got to be hurt a whole lot more than he pretends to be. But again, for Florida, it's this 4-game stretch at LSU, at Miami, week off, then Texas, and then A&M on the road too. So 3 out of this 4 are on the road. If they can be 2-2 with that, look, people may laugh at this a little bit, but after playing Long Island, they go to South Florida, or they play South Florida at home, and that's not going to be easy either. You've got a game with Mississippi State a week off, then you've got Georgia, and then, frankly, you've got at Ole Miss. That's become a real rivalry now, and then you've got home games with Tennessee and Florida State. Heck, do you remember a Tennessee game besides the one in the early 2000s that Florida has played the Vols this late in the year, which is very unusual? But I do think that, particularly on offense, if Lagway is healthy, this team could be even better than we think it's going to be, and they may have a lot to say at say even being 9-3, trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah, the last time Florida played Tennessee that late in the year, that was, of course, because of 9/11. So they moved the game in 2001. And my lasting memory of that game was Travis Stevens was simply untackable. I mean, you could not tackle him. Florida could send 3-4 guys at Travis Stevens.
Yeah.
It was not going to matter that night.
And listen, he got over well over, what was it, Hank, 230 at least, something like that. But you're right on, and it really makes you wonder. And again, nothing they could do about it. But if they had played Tennessee in their usual at that time space on the calendar of the third Saturday in September, what a difference it could have been then.
Yeah, that loss to Tennessee likely cost Florida a shot at a national championship, although I don't think they were going to beat Miami that year. I don't think anybody was going to beat Miami that year. Brent, as we begin to wrap up, SEC Media Days is in the rearview mirror. The ACC kickoff going on this week. Big stories locally, Miami and Florida State. Let's begin with the Noles. Certainly been quite the offseason for Tommy Castellanos, the quarterback there in Tallahassee, who's had a lot to say. Certainly he's being asked about that. To his credit, he's not backing down. He's talking about needing to fire up his teammates, getting Florida State mentally back to where they were prior to 2-10. I guess I hear him in that regard, although I thought he could have gone about it a little differently.
Yeah, I agree with that. And look, if he had done a lot at Boston College, well, I think we could say that it would be a whole lot different. But I mean, he really doesn't have a whole lot to back that up, frankly. But again, the good thing for them, after they play Alabama, East Texas A&M, we'll take a while to figure that one out. Kent State, then at Virginia. Now, they've got Miami and Pittsburgh on October 4th and 11th. But if they can even be close to the Alabama game and be able to be representative going into Miami, I'm not saying that they're going to have a great season, but at the same time, with Roydell Williams at running back, Squirrel White, if he is healthy, LaWayne McCoy, Randy Pittman at tight end, Luke Panabon, who is a senior this year. I'm not saying they're going to be great, Hank, but that they'll win more than 2 games than they did last year.
I know you talk to a lot of people in Alabama. Your brother does sports radio in Alabama. What is the Crimson Tide point of view on that Florida State game? Do they think that's going to be an easy one?
No, I don't think they do. And again, they've got a new quarterback in Ty Simpson, and the question is going to be, how is he going to play and how will he deal with the atmosphere of being in a new stadium, it being 100 degrees, and that probably would be mild compared to what it might be. So I certainly don't think they are overlooking the game. I think they're smart enough to realize that Florida State could be a problem, but at the same time, if they are who they think they are and who they want to be, that's a game that they've got to go win, and they've got like 8 guys coming back on defense, which will help them tremendously.
Brent, final thought. Miami was also at ACC Media Days this week, and I had this thought when I was listening to Carson Beck. Look, I'm not going to feel sorry for the guy. I mean, he's getting well compensated in the NIL world to go down to South Florida and everything that comes with being the quarterback of the Miami Hurricanes. Having said that, people know what he's getting paid, and people realize that he's replacing a number 1 overall pick in Cam Ward. Well, that's a tough setup for Carson Beck, is it not?
Well, it is. There's no doubt about that. And number 1, is he healthy? I think he will be by the time they play Notre Dame on that Sunday game, which would be a lot of fun, frankly, after seeing all the Saturday games. But again, I mean, when you're talking about, besides Beck, Mark Fletcher is coming back, Malachi Toney is coming back, C.J. Daniels, one wide receiver or two wide receivers and a running back. Elijah Lofton too. So Miami's got to keep from having this year what happened last year. Remember, they lost 2 out of 3 in November, and that really hurt them. Then they've got NC State, Virginia Tech, and Pittsburgh. But look, I mean, when you look at this schedule, and tell me how odd this is. They play Florida, and then they have a week off before they play Florida State, and then they have a week off again before they play Louisville. So they're going to have like a 3-week stretch where they only play one game.
Yeah, that's wild. It's an anomaly with the schedule, no doubt about that. Just looking at Carson Beck, and I think he's confident, but it's a tough putt because, again, the millions of dollars that he reported he got to go down there. He's replacing Cam Ward, replacing a lot of talent at wide receiver, too. We'll see, and as you said, we'll know pretty quick with games against Notre Dame and Florida there in the first month of the season. We always know we enjoy having Brent Beard on. You see him locally here on First Coast News, and you get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Mr. Beard, the next time you and I talk, there will be fall camps opening up all over the world of college football, my friend.
Well, that's exciting to say the least, and I mean, just to know a lot more than we will at that point is going to be extremely exciting because the thing is, once camps open, coaches can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief because they don't have them running the streets. I'm not saying all of them do, but you and I have already seen it. That's happened at Georgia, at Florida, and at other schools. It's always a risk this time of year, is it not?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I know you always talk about that, and you're right on. You want them to get away and kind of clear their heads before the season, but you're always happy to get them back without any incidents going on off the field. Brent, thank you, my friend. We'll do it again next week.
Good. We look forward to it, pal. Take care.
And thank you, too, my buddy Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. We've been so caught up in Jaguar training camp that you look, and all of a sudden, next week, college football practice. Fall camp gets underway. The Gators get underway on Thursday down in Gainesville. Of course, both Miami and Florida State were at ACC kickoff this week. We are now inside of a month away from the college football season getting underway. So we're on the doorstep, man, of the 2025 college football season. We always appreciate Brent Beard for joining us here on Hacker After Dark. We certainly spent some time on that. But as you can imagine, it was a lot about the Jacksonville Jaguars. 3 days of training camp in the rearview mirror. They will have an off day tomorrow. They're back on the field Sunday, and the pads come on at the beginning stages of next week. And that's finally, for the first time since the regular season ended in January, we will see the Jaguars in pads. We will see tackling. We will see thumping. And I know everybody is certainly looking forward to that. Well, that will just about do it, man. It has been a very busy Friday night here on Hacker After Dark. We certainly appreciate you guys hanging out with us on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. We have a ton of people to thank. Again, my buddy Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Thank you to Cecil Shorts, former Jaguar wide receiver, who joins us weekly during the regular season. We'll start cranking things back up with Cecil more regularly as we approach the regular season. And we always thank Cecil for joining us here on Hacker After Dark. Also, back in hour number 1, my buddy Dave Campo, Monday night coaching with Campo during the year. Always enjoy getting the head coach on. Going to enjoy him while we have him. Coach is heading back to Dallas, where obviously a lot of his family and a lot of his roots are. We will still have the coach on every so often, but we're going to miss the coach. We got him for about another month or so before he and the family head back to the Lone Star State. And we also had Tank Bigsby on earlier this evening on Hacker After Dark. Thank you to the Jaguar PR staff for setting up those interviews. Really enjoyed talking with Tank Bigsby. Certainly a big year for him. A lot of expectations for Tank heading into year number 3. Well, that will again do it on a Friday night. What has been a very busy Friday night and a very busy week here on Hacker After Dark, as we always tell you. And we cannot possibly tell you enough how much we absolutely appreciate you guys listening. RJ Saunders was your producer tonight. RJ, great job as always. I'm the Hacker Ryan Green. And again, Jacksonville, thank you for listening tonight and all week here to not only Hacker After Dark, but the 1010XL and 92.5 FM. So have a terrific remainder of your Friday evening and a fantastic weekend. And I will talk to you again Monday night right here on Hacker After Dark beginning at 8 o'clock. Until then, good night, Jacksonville.
What an absolutely gorgeous day. Warm sun, beautiful women, and the air is just right for
1010XL. Got a clogged drain that just won't quit? It's time to bring in the pros. Duck Duck Rooter.
I called Duck Duck Rooter for a clogged kitchen drain. They showed up fast and had it cleared in no time. No mess, no stress.
We've seen it all. Grease clogs, hairballs, mystery goo from the deep. Whatever's blocking your pipes, we'll get it flowing again. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule your drain cleaning service. That's 9